Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome to Sew with Mediva. And if you're a returning subscriber or a returning viewer, thank you for sticking to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to recreate this simple pinafore dress that I saw on Pinterest. So it has elastic on the waistline and I achieved this style using 3 yards of African print fabric. So if this is something you are interested in, make sure to keep watching and make sure you watch this video to the end so that you don't miss out on any detail. This is what the back of the dress looks like. And if you find this video useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel and share to your loved ones. So let's jump right in. So I made use of about 3 yards of this beautiful African print. You're also going to need your pattern paper for the upper part. You're going to need your elastic band. You need your tape rule, your scissors and your lining. So you can also use the same fabric to line it if you wish. So the full length of this dress is 58 inches and it has 2 parts. The upper part, which is from the shoulder to the half length, while the lower part is from the half length down to the full length of the dress. So we're going to start with the upper part and I'm going to draft it on the pattern paper. So let's go ahead to do that. So we're going to start with the back panel of the upper part and we're going to be drafting on the pattern paper. So like I said, the upper part is going to be from the shoulder to the half length, which is just around your belly button. So the first thing we're going to do is to draw out a starting line at the upper part of the pattern paper, which is going to serve as the shoulder line. So from the shoulder line, the only measurement you're going to take is from the shoulder to your half length. So mine is 16 inches, but I'm going to have an elastic band of 2 inches on the waistline. So I'm going to subtract 2 inches from it, making 14 inches. And then I'll add half an inch to that 14 inches for this joining allowance to the lower part. So I'm going to mark 14.5 inches. Just take out 2 inches from your half length measurement and mark it. So you're going to replace that 2 inches with the waistband. I hope you guys understand. So the next thing we want to do is to place the shoulder measurement. So my shoulder to shoulder measurement is 16 inches. Divided by 2 is 8 inches. But I'm going to take out 2 inches from that 8 inches and just use 6 inches. This is because it's a pinafore dress. You don't want the shoulder too wide. So I'll mark 6 inches and add half an inch to it for the turning over with the lining. So I marked 6.5 inches there. The next thing I'm going to do is to place the neckline. So the wideness of the neckline for the back is 3 inches, while the depth of the back neckline is 2 inches. You can do 1.5 inches. So go ahead to connect the 2 points together using your curved ruler this way. So this is what we have. So after marking the neckline, the next thing I'm going to do is to connect that 6.5 inches I marked all the way down to the waistline. So go ahead to connect from the shoulder to the waistline, forming a straight line. After that, I'll take the shoulder slope of 1 inch and then connect it all the way to the neck depth. So after that, the next thing is to cut it out. So my paper is not in a fold of 2 now, but when I'm cutting on my fabric, I'm going to fold my fabric into 2. I hope you guys understand. And then I'll add half an inch to the shoulder area for the joining allowance. So we are done with the back. Let's go ahead to work on the front. So for the front part, I'm going to head to mark my shoulder line just like I did with the back, and I'm going to come down by that same 14.5 inches just like I did with the back, and then I'll extend the line this way. And on the shoulder line, I'm going to mark the same 6.5 inches I used for the back. I'll also mark it on the waistline and then connect the points together. This is just to make sure my line is straight. After connecting, the next thing is to mark the neckline. So we're going to use the same 3 inches as the neck width. The wideness of the neckline will be 3 inches just like we used for the back. So after marking the wideness, I'm going to come down from the shoulder line to my nipple point, which is 11 inches. And then on that nipple point line, I'm going to take 1.5 inches. Like I'm going to come out by 1.5 inches this way. So whatever inches you take is going to determine how much space you have between the two front panel, but I will advise to not take more than 2 inches. So use your curved ruler to connect the points together this way. So the 2 parts of the front panel are going to be 3 inches apart when I am done. I hope you guys understand. So after that, I'll take the shoulder slope and then cut out the pattern. So let's go ahead to cut it out. So when I'm cutting on my fabric, I'm going to cut out 2 pieces of this front panel. I hope you guys understand. So after cutting out, this is the front. So I'm going to fold into two to cut out the back, and I'm going to cut out 2 pieces of this front panel. So let me go ahead and do that, so I'll show you guys. So after I use the patterns to cut on my fabric, this is what we have, and I also cut out lining pieces. So for the back, you can see that the center front area is in a fold, just like I said, and for the front I have 2 pieces of it. So I added half an inch to the back neckline. I'm supposed to add to the front, but I skipped it when I was cutting, so add half an inch to the front neckline as well. So the next thing to do is to turn over the necklines with the lining pieces. So I'm going to place the lining on the right side and stitch it down on the neck area. I'll leave the sides and the shoulder areas opened. For the front, I'm also going to do the same thing. I'm going to stitch the lining down towards the neckline area. Please don't forget to add your stitching allowance to yours when you are making it. Add half an inch. So I'll stitch the lining on the neckline all the way down, and I'll do the same thing for the other side. When I'm done doing that, I'll show you guys the next thing to do. So after stitching down the linings to the neckline and turning over, this is what it looks like. So I notched it, I turned over, and then I ironed it out. So as you can see, I left the sides and the shoulder areas opened. So the next thing we want to do is to join the front and the back panels together. So I'm going to place them on each other, right sides facing each other this way, and then I'll start with the shoulder areas. I'll merge the lining to the lining and the fabric to the fabric, and then go ahead to stitch it using half an inch. Stitch it all the way down. When I'm done with that, I'll repeat the same thing for the other side, fabric to fabric and lining to lining this way, and then stitch it all the way down. When I'm done with that, I'll show you guys the next thing to do. So after joining the shoulders together, this is what we have. So when you turn it to the right side, it is going to look like this. It's going to look this way. You can see that the wrong side, the shoulder areas on the wrong side is looking very neat. This is what we have. So the next thing to do is to flip this over to the wrong side now and close up the sides on the inside. So what you're going to do is to open up the fabric this way. So this is the right side, and go ahead to place your lining on it this way. Just open it up this way and place your lining. Bring out your lining and then use it to turn the sides over. Use it to close up the sides. So I'll place the lining on it this way and go ahead to stitch it all the way down using half of an inch. I'll stitch it all the way down. When I'm done with that, I'll do the same thing for the other side. Arrange it well, make sure the shoulders are aligned, and stitch it all the way down. So when I'm done with that, I'll show you that what it looks like. So after I closed up the sides, this is what it looks like. The next thing is to turn it over from the lower part. I'll just use the open part to turn it over to the right side. So after turning over, this is what it looks like on the right side. So you can use the same fabric. If you have enough, you can use the same fabric as the lining. So what I'm going to do next is take it to my ironing table and just iron it out so that the lining sits very well on the wrong side. Go ahead to iron it so that it becomes very flat. When I'm done doing that, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So after I ironed it out, this is what it looks like. So you can see how neat it came out. You can see how flat the seams are now. So I'm going to set this aside while we work on the lower part of this dress. So for the lower part, I'm gonna head to cut out the fabric, and remember the length of the lower part is 42 inches. I added 1 inch to it for folding allowance, making 43 inches. And I have also cut out the waistbands that I'll be attaching to it. So remember, we took out 2 inches from our half length measurement. So this waistband is going to fill in for that 2 inches that we removed from the half length. I hope you guys understand. So to get the wideness of fabric to cut for the gathers, go ahead to measure around your hip. Mine is 46 inches, and I added 14 inches to it, making a total of 60 inches. So it all depends on how full you want the gathers to appear. If you want it fuller, you can add about 20 inches to it or even more, and if you want it less full, you can just reduce the amount of inches you add to your hip measurement. So right now my fabric is 60 inches wide and 43 inches long, and the waistbands as well, they are also 60 inches wide. I hope you guys understand. So the waistband you're going to cut out will be as wide as the lower part. I hope you guys understand. And for the wideness of the waistband, I cut out 3 inches. and then I folded just one side in. I folded one side in. So when you measure it, I have 2.5 inches left. I'm going to use half an inch there to attach to the upper part, and I ironed my stay on it. I ironed my stay on the wrong side, but for this one I did not bother to iron any stay on it. You can decide to iron on both, it just depends on what you want. I just went ahead to fold in half an inch on one side. So right now I'm going to show you guys how to attach this waistband to the upper part of your dress. So the first thing is to fold the waistband into 2 equal parts and mark the center point. Go ahead to mark it on both sides. Fold the other one as well into 2 equal parts this way and mark the center point. You can use your scissors to just notch it. Just form a small notch there. And for the upper part, I'm going to fold the back panel into 2 equal parts this way and notch the midpoint also. So after notching it, I'm going to open up the upper part this way and fix it into my waistband. So to attach the waistband to it, go ahead to open up the back panel this way. So the point where you notched, I'm going to merge it to the point where I notched my band. So the band that has this interfacing is going to be on the right side of my fabric. So I'm going to merge the notched points together this way and use my pin to hold it down. After doing that, I'm going to get the other bands that does not have the interfacing. Note that you can iron your interfacing on both sides of the band, and I'll place the right side of the band facing the wrong side of my. So we're going to place the other band on the wrong side. So raise it up this way and then take the point where you notched and just insert it on the waistline this way. So at this point you can see that the waistbands are facing each other, right sides. The right side are facing each other, so use your pin to just secure it together. So after that, I'll use my pins to just close up the sides this way, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine and stitch it down using half of an inch. So before I go ahead to stitch it down, I'm also going to insert this front part into the waistband. So I'm going to come over to the edge of the band, and then I'll insert this waistband into it. So come over to the edge, make sure you leave about 1 inch on the waistband, just as you can see me doing. I left 1 inch at the front of the waistband. So insert your front panel into it this way and use your pins to hold it down. And after that, I'll repeat the same thing for the other side of the front panel. Just watch what I'm doing. So leave 1 inch in front of the waistband and insert it into it this way. Then go ahead to use your pins to hold it down. So after doing that, I'll take it to my sewing machine now and stitch it closed. I'll stitch it starting from one edge. Go ahead to stitch the waistband closed all the way down. So you're automatically joining the 2 waistbands together. So stitch it all the way down this way using half of an inch. Go ahead to close it up. So when I'm done doing all of that, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So after stitching the band to the upper part of the dress, this is what it looks like. So what I'm going to do next now is to notch it and then fold it down this way. I'll close it up this way and then use my iron to just iron it out so that it becomes very flat. So after I ironed out the waistband, you can see how flat and neat it looks now. And this is the 1 inch I left behind for folding. We're still going to fold it in. So the next thing to do is to attach this upper part to the lower part. So I'm going to just open up the waistband this way and insert the waistline of the lower part into it. So open up your waistband and insert the waistline of the lower part into it. Remember, the waistband and the lower part is 60 inches wide, so it's the same thing. So go ahead to insert the waistline this way into the waistband and then stitch it close. You can use your pin to hold it down so that it comes out very neat. So insert it into that part that you folded, that half an inch you folded, and stitch it all the way down. So after I attach the lower part to it, this is what it looks like. You can see how neat it looks on the inside. But the next thing I want to do is to insert the waistband, the elastic band I mean. So the elastic band is going to go in through this hole and come out at the other side to give that fitted waistline look. So to get the length of elastic band to cut out, go ahead to measure around your waist. Mine is 36 inches and I'll subtract about 8 inches from that to make 28 inches. So I'm gonna have to cut out my elastic band. It's a 1-inch elastic band and the length is 28 inches. I removed 8 inches from my round waist measurement to get that length. So you're going to pass your pin through the elastic band this way and close it up, and then from one side of this waistband opening you're going to pass in the pin with the elastic band into the casing. Just keep passing the pin with the elastic band into the elastic casing this way. So make sure you take note of the other edge of the band so that it doesn't run into the casing. So go ahead to pass it in carefully until it comes out on the other side of the opening. So I have successfully passed out the elastic on the other side of the band, and this is what we have. So I'll take it to my sewing machine now and stitch it down on this side. So I'll pull this other side in and also stitch it down. When I'm done with that, I'll show you guys the next thing to do. So after inserting the elastic band into the waistline, this is what we have. So it is going to grip to your waist when you wear it. So the next thing I want to do is to fold in this 1 inch that we left in front. So go ahead to fold it in this way and stitch it all the way down to get a neat finishing in front. Fold it in and stitch it all the way down. So I have also finished up the base of the dress. I folded in twice and stitched it all the way down. So after closing up the front, I'm going to take this belt. I have already turned it over to the right side, and then I will stitch it directly on the waistband. So make sure your belt is the same height as the waistband. If your waistband is 2 inches, then your belt should be 2 inches high. So stitch it down there. I'll do it on the other side as well and show you guys. So after I folded in that 1 inch allowance and inserted the belt, this is what it looks like. So I'm still going to iron this out. So when you wear your dress, you're going to tie this rope in front to give that perfect fit. You're going to just tie it in front. So this is all we end this video for today, guys. I hope you found it useful and I hope you learned something new. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.